And we are live. We are live. We are live. What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday night. That means we're ready for some hits and heels. My name is Coach Terry Bryant. I'm a football coach, and I started Hits and Heels because I wanted to bring awareness to women's tackle football, but also because I'm a sports nut and I love being able to showcase legendary athletes. And tonight's guest is just that. We have a legend. So I live in Lexington, Kentucky, where the University of Kentucky is. My son plays for University of Kentucky. My husband played football at University of Kentucky. And we have a University of Kentucky legend on that also not only was a local hero here, but went on to play professional, also coached at the college level. And we're getting ready to hear her story. Tracye Davis, welcome to Hits and Heels.
Thank you.
Listen, so I know I've been getting on your last nerve because I'm trying to get you on here. We trying to have some technical difficulties, but we worked right through it. But I want to hear your story. Listen, start me off in the beginning. So I've looked at your bio because I'm on the board of the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame and saw your bio. So I know what's on there. So you started off as a multi-sport athlete in what, elementary school?
Yes, elementary
school. And you were outstanding since then. So let's start there and then we'll work up to you getting your nomination into the Hall of Fame.
I guess I started playing basketball. I'm gonna say on a team since second grade. I started at Russell Cave Elementary. They had this gray Y team, and and we played on Saturday mornings, kind of early on Saturday mornings too. So my brother had to get up and usually my brother or my mama would take me to my games out in Takes Creek High School. I played for the Russell K Mustangs. My first coach was David Onan. I'll never forget. But yeah, started there, and from second grade on up until I retired, I've been on a team every year. Some kind of team, whether, I went from second grade, I went to junior pro at Booker T. Washington Elementary. We had a winter league there, so I played on a boys team there. And then I did junior pro also after that, and I played in the Sun Bowl. And I was the only girl on the Sun Bowl team too. And one of our, I guess this year's nominees or no inductees, Tony Hawkins was my coach.
Oh, wow. So that'll be a nice reunion.
Yeah, he was my coach for Sun Bowl, and I was his only girl, and I started. So I did Sun Bowl, then I went from Sun Bowl to junior high and high school and college, and then I played a year pro until the league folded. That was before the WNBA and all that stuff. And then I played a travel ball here in Nashville, Tennessee for several years. And I retired from a team probably about 10 years ago.
Okay. So tell us about your recruitment to the University of Kentucky, because I know in this day and age, I can only name a handful of girls that were good enough to come out of Lexington to play at Kentucky. Of course, we've already had a couple of them inducted in the Hall of Fame. Why is it so hard to get? Well, we all know why it's hard to get in there, but why do you think it's hard for girls to be that good? And how did you feel like you got that good enough to go to play it? And tell us about your recruitment to Kentucky.
Kentucky started recruiting me in the 8th grade.
Get out of here. Who was the coach?
Terry Hall was the coach.
Okay.
And I started receiving letters from Kentucky in the 8th grade. And they were the only ones that was sending me anything then. And then when I got to high school, then here come the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it was, just being honest and being real, it was a lot of hard work. I didn't even realize that I was doing that kind of work, but I just loved the game so much. I played every day. I played with boys. I played on league teams. Uh, my mama had to come get me out the park because I would be there and it would be dark. And I got my basketball on my bicycle. I would put in between the bicycle little
Yeah.
bars,
Mm-hmm.
and I put my basketball in between that, and I would just go to the park. I mean, it would be rain, sleet, snow, sunshine, whatever. I was there at the park, and usually playing against grown-ups, grown men actually. So I put in some work, and for years, I mean years and years.
Leading up until Kentucky. And so the
Leading,
kids these days, I don't think put in that type of work anymore.
I don't think they do either. And I've
They definitely
coached.
don't go outside.
Yeah, and that's the problem. They won't go outside. I played outside. I played on the
Mm-hmm.
outside court. We played our dirt bowl, the women's dirt bowl. It was on the outside court up
Mm-hmm.
at. We played at Castlewood Park for several years, and then we played at Dunbar. No, I'm sorry. We played at Coolevin Park,
Mm-hmm.
and we played the dirt bowl there for years. And it would be blazing hot, sun in your eyes, on the concrete, and it's just that's just where we was, and that's just how it went down. And you right, these kids won't hardly even go outside, or it's too hot, or I don't have the right shoes. And I'm like, I played in canvas shoes. My first pair of basketball shoes was some red Converse canvas, and I love
Mm-hmm.
them. I wear them every day. But now
Gotcha.
it was a lot of work, and it was a lot of work that like my coaches didn't have to tell me to go do. My mama didn't tell me go practice this or whatever. She used to have to come and drag me out of the park because I would be playing just in the park all day.
So who were your role models coming up? Did you have any female role models coming up during your era?
Well, um, I met Leslie and Nichols and BB Crowley. I met them once I got in high school. But
Okay.
just growing up, I really didn't. I didn't. It was like neighborhood people that I kind of looked up to. I had a cousin. He's also one being inducted with the team.
Okay.
Robert Chocolate Warfield. I
Mm-hmm.
was a big fan of his, and he was a great athlete. And I used to I want to be, a good athlete like him. He played multiple sports, and he was good in all of them. So I looked up to like him a lot. And we had some girls that lived in Charlotte Court that I used to hoop with them, and I mean, they played high school ball. Sue Smith and Donna Hawkins, Hawk's little sister. They
Mm-hmm.
used to play Douglas Park all the time, and I would go up there, and they were much older than me, but I would go up there and play with them. So that's kind of, I just kind of, I don't know, I ain't gonna say hung around them, but they were there at the park.
Okay. Okay. But you were a multi-sport athlete. You were good in softball too. Were there any other sports you was good at?
I started off, to be honest, playing tennis, and
Oh,
Richard
okay.
Green was my coach up there, and I was doing really well playing tennis, and he thought he had I guess a gym, and he was like, okay, she's gonna be pretty good, and because I'm ambidextrous, so I could hit both
Okay.
hands. I didn't really have a backhand because I could switch the racket over and hit left hand too.
Mm-hmm.
So he just really thought that I was gonna hey, we got something right here, y'all. But I wanted to be the first girls to play in the NBA, I think. and, and one day I put that tennis racket down, never picked it back up, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I think he came to my house and was like, "No, what are y'all doing?" And I was like, "I don't want to play no more." It was hot that day. I think I had a bad practice, and I put the tennis racket down, and I just started playing basketball. It was just my only sport then. But then I got into softball, and I loved that. I was on a travel squad for many years, and we were very, very good, very good. And so them was my sports that I played.
Okay. So Jennifer Jones is the co-founder of the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame. And she said at our Layshoff press conference that Robert said he taught you everything you know. Everybody always takes. I didn't realize Richard Green was. Did you know Richard Green was being inducted this year too?
No, he is.
That's what Jennifer said. That Richard Green is being inducted also.
I didn't know that.
It's getting ready to be a family reunion for you.
Wow.
At this Hall of Fame. That sounds exciting.
Yeah, he gave me tennis lessons up at Douglas Park. He sure did. And but Robert Chocolate, that's my cousin. We're first cousins, and his mom and my dad were sisters and brothers. And I used to he was a great athlete, and I was proud of him, and just like, man, I did kind of look up to him, but he didn't teach me anything. But I just I did look up to him, though. We had, growing up in Charlotte Court, we had like a lot of athletes. I mean, great athletes. George Adams, who was inductee last year. Yeah, we all grew up together. So I will see them, and I'm like, man, I'm around like great athletes, and I don't know. I guess I just wanted to be like them. I'm like,
I think that's why I appreciate Jennifer and Bobby creating the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame, because somebody like me that's not from here, I get to hear the stories. That's why I was just so excited for you to come on to hear your story after I found out that you hadn't got inducted. And so for you to drop all the names, of course, I was in awe last year when I met George Adams. Of course, he played with my husband. So you were there with Terry Hall. So who were your teammates?
Well, Terry Hall, she got fired after I signed. So and then Sharon Fanning became
Sharon Fanning came after that. Okay, gotcha.
And I didn't know back then that you could open up back up to your recruitment and stuff. And
was that a rule back then?
I'm sorry? Was
that even a rule back then?
I don't even think it was, but
I don't think it was. I don't think it was.
I had already signed, and I had a lot of big schools that I could have went to, but I did choose Kentucky because I just thought it offered more for me.
And it's home.
I'm sorry.
And it's home.
And I knew my family could, make it and come and see me. So I did choose them. But Kentucky had a lot to offer. They really did. I look back now and I think like we won the NIT one year. And
they never talk about that.
Yeah.
When I saw that on your bio, I was like, okay, I've been a fan. I can't remember how long I've been a fan. I've been a fan for a while. I think I became a fan when who was the coach before Mickey DeMoss? Because I moved here in 2003. And so of course I didn't really become a fan until I moved to Lexington. And so I was like, when I read your bio and you said y'all won the W, because back then that was the elite tournament.
Yeah.
And they never talk about the fact that Kentucky women won that tournament.
Yeah, we won that tournament. And the funny story about that is that I really felt like we should have got into the NCAA tournament, postseason. But they had the SEC was always so strong. So they had taken, I think, 8 or 9 teams. I think they had taken 8 teams. And I think we was 9th or something. And we didn't get to go. But they offered us an invitation to the NIT, and we didn't want to go because I was like, man, this ain't a good
so at that time the NCAA had taken over as the elite tournament. The NIT wasn't the number one tournament at that time.
It wasn't at the time.
Okay.
But finally, even though I guess majority of us ruled on like not going to the tournament, she made us go anyway, and we went and won it. Like, wow. So we got, this is no lie, we got like some really nice rings. I mean, mine is in there. I'll show it to you. But we
Okay.
got really nice rings with real diamonds in it, big old
Mm,
bouquet and gold, and very nice. And one of my homegirls, she played at UT, so they had won the NCAA championship. And our rings look way better than their
better than
rings.
theirs did.
I was like, "Is that all y'all got?" I said, "Our little NIT rings is better looking at that thing." Yeah,
Well,
they
that's
had like,
because the NIT used to be the elite
I
tournament.
know that, and I realized that after we won it and
Oh, gotcha.
research, and I said NIT was big at one point, but you know, we was making and joke, making fun of it and joking about it because we didn't
Mhm.
want to go because we didn't hear from it about it anymore, and then we
Right.
went and won this thing. I was like, wow.
So, is that one of your top highlights? You got a couple of, what are your top highlights from your career? Because you did pro for a year and you've coached and you've done all that. Is that one of your top highlights? What's your top highlight of your career? Because you had a great athletic
That's
career.
man, that's probably one of them. Just because, like I said, we really had an attitude about going there, and
I
uh,
love it.
we went there and we won it, and I was like, we actually won this, y'all, and it's crazy. And then another highlight was just making like all SEC,
That's
and
huge.
hmm so making all SEC in this, I mean, big old powerful conference. Got, I mean, how many? Let me see. At the time when I played, we only had 10 teams, and 8 of them would go to the NCAA tournament and be ranked in the top 10 every
Right.
year. So just making all conference, during that time, was a big accomplishment for me. And sports wise, um, I played that pro league for a year, and it was cool, but we only played on the weekends, and we played on Saturdays, and I played for the Kentucky Marauders, and they paid us $200 a game, and they paid for all our traveling and everything. But if you got fined if you was like late for practice or getting texts or
Mhm.
something like that, you got fined like $50. And I was like, "Are y'all for real?" I was late for practice one time because I was working. I had a job, and I would leave work and fly to Louisville because that's where we practiced at, and on twice a week. And I was late one time, and they docked me $50, and I was like, I don't get that much as it is, but it was cool. It was just on the weekends, but it was good.
It was good. So Jennifer said, please bring your ring to the gala next month. So we'll display it with
Okay.
our memorabilia. hmm And I know you know this one. He's getting inducted too. We got Lilden Ward on here is also getting inducted. He
Okay.
said that your family lived across the street from your family in Charlotte Court.
Yep.
I coach football, and here's one of my players. She said, "Congratulations." Um,
Okay. Thank you.
I love being able to mention. Oh, Littleton said, I said this before. West End Brick City Legend, is that what they call it? Brick City Legend. I love it.
Hey,
I love it.
Littleton.
And Autumn,
It's
I miss you too.
growing up. Seriously, when you say, who did I look up to, we had legends in the neighborhood. You know, Littleton them lived across the walk from us. So you had Littleton, Bethel. I guess he was inducted last
Last
year.
year.
So you had a Bethel over there, Sterling. He played at Kentucky. Like I said, we had Melvin Turpin across the
Oh
street.
my God, we inducted him last year.
Yeah, George Adams was in Charlotte Court.
Last year. Oh my
Dirk,
God. All y'all lived in the same neighborhood?
yep, Dirk Manyfield. His girl
Dirk went
lived
in
there,
our first year.
so he was there, and so he was my favorite player. He still is my favorite,
Oh,
like
Dirk is your favorite player of all time.
college player.
College player. Okay. So
And so yeah. Mark Logan. Well, he wasn't in our neighborhood, but we all. Dermani Dawson was across the street also. So we had folks that was around that, and then we had some that didn't even probably should have been in NFL or NBA or Major League Baseball. I mean, we just had great athletes growing up.
And that's what I love about this Hall of Fame, is so that we can recognize those people.
And we had really great athletes growing up. All in that.
All in that same neighborhood.
Yep.
Now, what high school did you went to? Henry Clay, right?
I went to Henry Clay High School.
So you, BB, Leslie, all y'all went to Henry Clay. So that coach must have been amazing.
Now,
did he coach all of y'all?
No, because back then we only had high school was 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Oh, okay.
And so when BB was a senior, I think BB and Leslie only played together 1 year.
Okay.
And I think BB was in the 10th, Leslie was in the 12th.
Okay.
I was in junior high school.
You still okay. So y'all never got to play together.
Never got to play together. And I guess when BB and Leslie had the same coach, and when BB left, I guess she felt like, oh God, I ain't gonna get another good player in here. I'm gone. I don't rebuild and all this stuff, because BB was her love, her big old superstar. So BB graduated, and this lady retired by the time I got over there, and I was mad because I'm like, "What you doing, man? I mean,
right, where you going?"
So finally, Bob Trippier, who we lost this year, and that was my man. He
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he came in there, and first word out of his mouth was like, "What the hell am I doing?" And I said, "Excuse me," because I didn't know him, And he said, "I don't know why I did this." And I said, "What are you talking about?" And he said, "I'm coaching y'all." I was like, "Okay." And I didn't know this man from
right.
But he had a pretty good resume. He had won the state in baseball with John Shelby.
Oh, wow. Shelby. Yeah. He was inducted in our first year.
Yeah, him. And then we had then he won he was on the 1983 Henry Clay's men's boys basketball championship as an assistant coach.
Okay.
So he came in and he was like, "I don't know what I'm getting into." He said, "I ain't never coached no girls." And I said, "Well, I mean," "we're pretty."
What's the difference?
Okay. And he said,
"It's just like coaching the boys."
No, he said, "Girls cry too much. They always whine." And he was very animated. He was like, "They run like this." That just makes me sick. And then he got in there, and we started balling for him. Like, wow. So he always said some good things about me in the newspaper. I was glad to hear that. I found something actually yesterday that he had said about me in a newspaper clipping, and I was like, wow. And on his deathbed, I got to video chat with him. And I asked him, I said, "You remember me?" And he was in hospice. And he said, "I do remember you." He said, "You was my favorite player." I was like,
"Oh my God."
With him, I came close, but I didn't get to win a championship with him. But he told me I was his favorite player, and he was probably one of my favorite coaches ever.
Right.
He just pushed me a lot. He pushed me hard, and he would get on me. I guess I was a so-called superstar, but he fussed at me a lot. And first I was like, "I don't think you like me." And he was like, "Nah, I do like you." He said, you my girl, you my favorite player, but I'm making you better." And he did. And
I think in this day and age, a lot of players miss that. I think I posted that on my page yesterday, that the people that are telling you about yourself are the ones that love you. The people that just let you just be mediocre.
Yeah.
Are either hating on you or don't. Yeah. Or don't like, and that's so hard to instill that in kids or even in adults. If I'm friends with somebody and I say something, because I coach women tackle football, and that's been very difficult to give the tough love and the feedback, it's not received like that. The first thing they do is, if she don't like me, I don't like her, and so they don't want to listen and they don't want to do anything. That's so hard in this day and age. But I'm glad that you were able to recognize that,
Yeah.
or that he voiced that you were that the reason why, or that he did love, because I love all my players as well, and the ones that you love, you are going to push them a little bit harder, especially when you see the potential in them. And so did you guys did not get a championship your 4 years?
I did not. I lost in the state tournament. Here's what they used to do, and they probably still do it, but we were ranked number 2 in the state, whole state.
Oh, wow.
And the very first game we played the number 1 ranked team. And I don't know how they did this, the order or whatever. So you had number 1 and number 2, the first game of the state tournament.
That makes no sense.
They did that the whole time I was in high school, and whenever we went to the state tournament, they did that. And my second year, that was my first year going to a state tournament, and they had us up against the number 1 seed team, and those girls had been playing together since 7th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And
what school was that? Do you remember?
It was Marshall County.
I ain't never heard of Marshall County.
Marshall County was the mecca of girls basketball for
back
years.
Back in the day. Yeah, because I've never listen. When I tell you that's the first time I've heard of Marshall County.
No, seriously, that's the mecca of girls basketball. So for years, and a little small town over in Western Kentucky somewhere, Benton, Kentucky, I think that's what it's called. Okay. And so we played against. They had us playing against them, and we went into overtime, lost our center, and so they beat us in overtime, and we just couldn't hang with them. And they gave them some calls. I ain't gonna lie, and I hate saying this, but they were. I'm not even giving it.
I just got off the phone right now blocking some people because I'm so sick and tired of hearing from a certain player getting the benefit of the doubt, and then when you say that she gets the benefit of the doubt, I'm a racist.
But they did. They got some calls. They had, all white squad against all black squad, and they got some. They were scared to death when we walked into. I'm friends with one of their stars. She was Miss Basketball my year. Her name was Mary Taylor, and she told me, I'll never forget. This was years later when I would see her. She said, "Girl, if y'all had 5 more, no," she said, if y'all had a couple more minutes, she said, she told me, she said, we were scared to death when y'all walked in the gym, and I was like, wow. But they got some questionable calls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and just like the NCAA tournament this past year, when I watched the West Virginia Iowa game, there was some questionable calls, and then after that, the UConn game was some questionable calls, and then who did they play after that? They were all questionable to help a certain player get to the championship game, and nobody can tell me otherwise that wasn't the agenda. Mr. Brown said, "Who was your basketball high school coach again? What was his name again?"
Bob Trippier.
And he just passed away this past year.
This year he won a state tournament with like I said, he won one with baseball with John Shelby and them. Then he won one in basketball as assistant coach with the 83 Henry Clay team. And then he won one at Henry Clay after I left. Then he left Henry Clay and went to Lexington Catholic and won one over there.
Okay.
So his jersey's on the wall over at Henry Clay too.
Okay.
Great
Mr.
coach.
Mr. Brown said that Coach Tripp. Is that what they call him, Coach Tripp?
Coach Tripp.
Yeah, he was at Catholic.
Yep.
The great Coach Tripp. Okay, yeah.
Oh.
Well, God rest his soul. Too bad I didn't get a chance to meet him. Sounds good. And I didn't realize Bernadette Maddox was the coach before Mickey DeMoss.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, it was Bernadette. Yeah,
Bernadette. Yeah. Because I'm trying to get Bernadette on here, but she's so busy. I can't. It's hard to get her tracked down on here. So, oh my goodness. Okay, so what was the league like when you went to the pro? You said it was only a year because they folded. They didn't last long.
They just didn't have money. We was playing in like a couple of teams we played in there. Like they had a team in Nebraska, so they had Omaha. They had a team in Omaha, so we would go to Omaha and play. And we played in like a convention center, so wasn't many people at the games. But when we played like Chicago, we played at DePaul University. We played at Kansas City. We played on their floor back when they used to have the Kansas City Kings. So we played on their floor, and it just wasn't enough money. Like I said, that was before the WNBA and the I think it was ABL.
ABL, yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Jennifer just reminded me. Thanks, Jen. That's why I love when you're on, because Jen said the 1983 team is also being inducted this year, and Coach Tripp will be inducted posthumously.
Oh wow! Okay. All right.
Yeah. So this again, everybody is like, you keep making it even more exciting about this this induction coming up. I'm so excited about the induction coming up.
Yeah, it was I don't know, like some of these kids, they just don't realize like the work that a lot of us put in, and we didn't have all the fancy shoes and all that stuff, and we didn't have the TV exposure, of course, no internet and all that stuff, so we just put in the work. Some of these kids get a new pair of shoes every game, or I did not have the same pair of shoes for the whole year.
Was Tammy Walker your teammate?
Tammy Walker was my teammate.
Okay.
She was. Tammy could play too. Shoot.
Were you the only when you were at Kentucky, were you the only local player?
Yes, I was the only from Lexington. I was,
because you were right behind Leslie and BB.
I played 1 year with BB at Kentucky. She was a senior and I was a freshman.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then she left, and then it was just me there, only local player. And then I didn't play with anybody from Lexington, but one of my homies, she's from Georgetown, she came the next year. So
okay. So who came after you
that played at Kentucky?
Besides, only one I know is Erica Jackson.
Yeah, Erica.
Who else?
Let me see. Stasha,
of course. Stasha, yes.
So they all came after
and
me.
Keela's from here.
Keela, yeah, I didn't know her, but yeah.
Because she played at she didn't play at a local. She played at a Catholic or Christian. She was at one of them.
Yeah, she played at Catholic.
Okay.
And those girls, like, she went to Dayton. No, she went somewhere else before. It might have been Dayton.
Both of them did. Stasha went. I think
too. Yeah, you're right.
They both went someplace else first. They didn't come directly to Kentucky, but they transferred back to Kentucky. So is Erica the last one that got recruited straight out of Lexington to play at Kentucky? That's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and I can't think right now, but it sounds about right. Yeah, it does. It sounds about right.
But putting that into perspective makes it even more, now that you can look back on it. Like, look how good you had to be. Because you just said for yourself how loaded the SEC was.
I was loaded.
It was loaded.
Loaded.
Right.
Like
loaded.
I said, you see that they've all these teams are joining the SEC because it was
we just inherited Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So after I left, who came in then? Arkansas came in and South Carolina came in.
Oh, after you left,
After
we've gotten Texas A&M, Missouri.
Yeah, then all of them came, and now you got Oklahoma, Texas.
And Texas.
Wow. But before that, like I said, the SEC always sent at least 8 teams to NCAA tournament every year, and they were always in the top 25. I'm gonna say top 10 every year.
I mean, as long
Top
as
15.
I've been watching the NCAA tournament, I've never not seen 5 or 6 SEC teams in or more in the tournament. They've always
They
dominated the tournament.
always,
Mhm.
always.
Okay,
And
so how did growing up near the parks at Bluegrass Aspendale strengthen your game? Because that hood featured good players, boys and girls. Oh, we kind of already answered this, Mr. Brown, but we'll get to it again. We'll answer your question again.
I didn't grow up in Aspendale. I grew up in Charlotte Court.
Charlotte Court. And I love that. I want to shout out Nimbo
Mm-hmm.
Hammonds for creating
He was also, oh yeah,
his Charlotte Court
he lived
his
across the
gym.
street from me. Mm-hmm.
Shout out Nimbo.
Yep,
Mhm.
Nimbo's done a great job.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tennessee was the gold standard for SEC. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so so let's fast forward to today. How much time we got? We're at 36 minutes. This hour goes by fast. So tell me, give me your experience on what it was like. First of all, who called you to give you the call that you were being inducted into the Lexington African American Sports Hall of Fame?
Um, it might have been John Washington.
Oh yeah, that's my dude.
Yeah, I think he called me. Yeah, I think he did. Because I'm friends with his sister-in-law, so I think me and her might have been on the phone talking, and he was in the
And he
background
called
of
you.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have been a setup just to make sure that you were available to call you. So what was that like? So had you heard about
um.
obviously had you had heard about the Hall of
Oh
Fame
yeah.
prior to that, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So okay, so what, let me backtrack. What was your first reaction when you first heard about the Hall of Fame? And then tell us, what did it feel like when you got the call that you were inducted into the Hall of Fame?
When I first heard about it, the Hall of Fame, I'm like, that is awesome. That's a great thing, because we had, like I told you, we had some great people
Yes. Come out of Lexington.
that,
Yes.
yeah, come through Lexington, or just growing up in Lexington. I didn't quite understand what the Hall of Fame was at first. I didn't know if it was just athletics or whatever, but
It's just athletics.
okay, it's athletic. Okay.
But
Yeah.
we also have like a contributor, like somebody that contribute to athletics, or
Yeah,
we also include coaches and umpires, but it's still all sports related.
sports related. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, we had some folks to come through Lexington, I'm telling you. And like I told you earlier, it should have been, I mean, I know things happen or whatever, like no support or what, but we should have had way more people in NFL, Major League Baseball, and basketball, because we had some, I mean, really good athletes. And just sometimes circumstances, just come about that, these people didn't get their fair shot. But, my cousin was one of them. I really felt like he definitely should have been in the NFL. Well, he got 4 rings that he wears. He's got 2 state championship rings, and he's got 2
Who's your cousin?
Robert Chocolate Warfield.
I've never heard of him. He's
He's on
got 4
the
rings.
83 Henry Clay team.
Oh, so he's getting inducted. Oh, that's right. You said he's getting inducted. So he's getting inducted. Okay, so he's getting some of his accolades. Okay.
Oh yeah, he is. But I'm just saying, like,
But
he should have
still,
been in NFL. It was plenty of them. So when I heard that the Hall of Fame was, I guess, organized and everything, I'm like, that is awesome. I mean, that is a good thing, because we had these folks that, you know, I guess the ones that didn't make it or whatever, that they were really good athletes, and just, I guess, give them their share
give
of
them their flowers. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
um,
definitely.
I think one of the things that one of my big aha moments for me after we started the Hall of Fame was the number of people that have gotten inducted into the bigger Hall of Fames after we were brought to their attention. Like, there's no
Right,
way Steve Chandler shouldn't have already been in
right.
Vanderbilt Sports Hall of Fame. He was
Yeah,
the
that.
first Black to play baseball there, and you're just now inducting him? Like,
Yep,
crazy. Chris Chenault.
exactly.
Number two, number three. What was he? Number two, number three. Chris, if you're watching, listen, I'm so sorry if I'm messing it up and not giving you your right propers. He was like
Mm-hmm.
number two or number three of all time on
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky's all-time list, and you're just now inducting him after we've inducted him. Yeah, that was crazy. And there's a
Yep,
couple other people that was the same way. And then there's
exactly.
a lot of them like that even they might not have made it to the college level,
Mm-hmm.
but they still should be in the Kentucky High School Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm. We have plenty of them. I'm telling you,
Yes,
plenty.
definitely in the Kentucky. If they don't make it to another level,
Right.
definitely should be in the Kentucky High School Hall of Fame, especially if they've done the things that you said that they've done. So
Yep.
for us, we have. I know a lot of people have been, misconstrued about how it works. We do have a nomination process, and so if people will just go to layshoff.com, I'm gonna go ahead and put it up. We actually open it up so that people can go there all year
Uh-huh.
to layshoff.com, and you can nominate anytime. But one of the problems that we've had is like so for instance, I'm on the board. Everybody is nobody's paid. It's all voluntary. So it's hard to find a lot of people just volunteer their time. And so you
Right.
have people like me and my husband that are not from here. We didn't grow up here,
Right.
but we're the part of the sports community now, but we're not familiar with everybody back in the day. So we have to rely on what people submit. And so what
Right.
happens is we get a lot of incomplete submissions. And
Mm.
so I've had to even call people up and be like, look, I know you did more than this, because if I go to Google and I Google you, there's nothing there.
Right.
But you know what you did, or somebody else knows what this person did. And I need a little bit more detail
Mm-hmm.
about what had happened. So, and I think that's kind of what happened even with you was when you came up, it wasn't a lot of information. And
Mm-hmm.
then somebody, kind of talked you up a little bit, and we were able to kind of dig, and somebody might even called you and just got more information. And so then when we got that information, was able to kind of be like, whoa, she
Mm-hmm.
played professional. Because
Mm-hmm.
to me, if you went pro, you've gotten to the higher level. If you've gotten
Right.
to any type of pro level, you
Right.
are at the highest level. It doesn't get any higher than that, right? And so,
Right.
so if people can go to layshoff.com, and the cutoff is October the 31st in
Okay.
order to be inducted for the 2025 class. You guys
Okay.
people still have time to go to layshoff.com, but it has to be like we've had one where say he was just a great guy. A great guy just doesn't cut it.
Right.
That's just not good enough as far as, putting somebody into the Hall of Fame. We have to have facts, and we have to have
Right.
data, and we have to be able to, kind of research it to verify, to make sure nobody's just making stuff up just to put somebody in there. So, it's a little extensive. And so, but we're looking at Mr. Brown. So, okay, so what's his name? Chocolate?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. Went to EKU, a
Yep.
multi-talented athlete.
Yep.
I love Mr. Brown.
Yeah.
Greg Bates, Jeff Blendon. Oh, state championship winner Henry Clay, 83.
Yeah.
So we're getting ready to meet all of these people
Uh-huh.
at the.
Yep.
I can't wait. I
Yep.
absolutely can't wait to meet all these guys. Yeah. So I was really, so the last two inductees, I was starstruck. I'm not gonna lie. So the first year I was starstruck with meeting Darmani Dawson and Tyson Gay. And then last year it was Victoria Gay and and George Adams were like my two, were like my two, just I was just like, giddy like a little child. Like
Right.
they it was just so great to see them. So okay, so we're at 45 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping this up. So tell me now that I have you live, and is there anything that you've never been able to voice publicly that you've always wanted to say, if you ever had the opportunity to say it? It could be anything.
Just anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some of it's probably not appropriate for today, so I shut up right there. But nah, usually I say what I gotta say, but yeah, you should have you should put like limit on what I could. You said anything, I'm like, nah, I can't say some of that stuff. But nah. I've usually, I'm pretty vocal about stuff, but there's nothing that I've held back from saying.
Okay.
That I needed to say, but
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is the state of women's sports in this day and age too?
Man, it's blowing up now. I'm like, whoo, man, I wish they getting money and stuff now. And
yes,
like,
the NIL. I mean,
yes. I'm like, where do I got any eligibility left? Can I get some NIL money? Shoot, we set the bar for y'all. Like,
yes.
geez. But I'm happy for him. I ain't hating on him or nothing like that. I'm like, get your money. Whoever can get that money.
Get it.
But yeah, I would have loved to get some of that kind of money. Maybe I'd have had an NIL deal or something. But it's on. I guess it's on the rise. It's they like there.
Why did it take
where I want it to be. TV time. That's huge. TV time is the biggest.
But why did it take Caitlin Clark's?
I love Caitlin.
To push it to the next level. I like Caitlin Clark too.
Yeah, I like Caitlin Clark. I really do.
Yeah, I do
like
too.
Her. And I would have loved to be on her team, because I know if I'm on her team, I'm gonna get what you get too. we gotta get the ride private jet, and we gotta get a lot of TV time. Heck yeah, I want to be on your team. Shoot. I ain't hating on her, and I'm gonna protect her too.
I'm gonna protect her too. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
But nah, for
because
real,
you making enough money where you can spread the wealth.
Man, yeah. But it's man, it's so big now, and I'm like, wow, look at this. I seen our girls' locker room, and I'm looking at the locker room.
Like, you see, they just redid Memorial Hall. I saw a sneak peek. I was like, unbelievable. But it's about
played
time.
On that floor, and I'm
it's
like,
about
this
time.
Is what y'all got. I had to go to what you call it, donor dinners and stuff. And when I didn't want to, and I really wanted to go home and get into bed, but instead we had to go to like somebody was donating $1 million to the athletic department. I had to go to that dinner, so I never got to see any of that stuff. But I guess all that stuff is being built now. But yeah, it's I can't give nothing but praise about how it's taken off, and it's getting like respectful.
Yes.
I'm like, we was ballers too. I mean, ballers. But
I'm not hating on them now. I just that was just the only thing that I was just upset, because I was like, but this is nothing new. The only thing that she's doing different is she's shooting from the logo, and she wouldn't have been able to get away with that playing in the SEC.
I don't know. I'd beat her up.
There's
You know,
no
oh,
coach.
you're not gonna get me.
Yes.
Uh,
Exactly what happened in the championship game
you're right.
when Coach Staley made the adjustment on defense.
Exactly. He
She
did a
got shut
great.
down.
Yeah, Don did a great job. I love Don, and
I
Don
do
did a
too.
great job. And she was smart. She knew what to do with Caitlin, and she put that girl and just wore Caitlin out.
And
And that's
shut her
what they
down.
did. Shut her down.
And so
Yeah.
that's why I was like, okay, when Diana Taurasi said what she said, I was like, y'all act like everybody didn't just watch that South Carolina and Iowa game. Like every baller watched that game. If they didn't watch it
Mhm.
live, they watched a replay. And
Yeah.
so you saw how to stop her.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You saw how to
I
stop her.
tell
So
you
now
what.
every
Man,
WNBA team was like, okay, if we don't do anything else, we need to recruit a very good defender to defend against Caitlin Clark, because you would be stupid not to do that.
well, the league is different. The league is not gonna be like the college girls. The league, everybody hungry. So you ain't gonna get that on some folks. Uh,
Exactly.
and I talked to BB, and me and BB Curly, we on the phone probably a couple times a week, and we just be laughing because she always mess with me because I was one of them players that if I knew you was good, I wouldn't say nothing, and I'd be like, I want to check her. I want to
Absolutely.
guard her because I'm gonna show you're not gonna embarrass me.
You're not,
I don't care
yes,
if I don't score one basket, you not
but
getting ready
you're
to
not
score.
getting ready to get yours.
And I
Not,
told
that's not
BB
getting ready to
the
happen.
last, we was watching the championship game, the college with Caitlin Clark now, and I told BB, I said, "Hey, how many fouls did we get? We get five. I'm using
I'm
all
using
those
all
five.
of them.
Give her a couple of good stiff ones the first couple times, and then after that, she ain't
After
gonna
that,
want to go to
yeah,
the
she's
racket
not
court."
going. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna shut all that. We're gonna shut all that down. We're gonna shut
I
all that
played
down.
against. I was a freshman, and I had to guard Teresa Weatherspoon.
Woo!
I was scared to death. They had doped me up with Dramamine because I didn't want to get on the airplane. I got off the airplane. I had slept through practice, pregame meal, everything. They finally woke me up before the game, and I didn't start, but I was the first one off the bench. So when the ball went up, Coach Fanning said, "Tracye, get in." I was like, "Okay, who am I guarding?" She said, "You got Weatherspoon." I said, "Oh, God." Hey, but I held her in check.
Held her in check.
She shook my hand after the game. She said, "You did a good job." I was like, "Whew, Lord
Woo!
Jesus."
That's good stuff.
That was funny.
So, how was the relationship between the men's and the women's teams when you were at UK? Good question,
Uh,
Jennifer.
yeah, we spent a lot of time together. Uh,
So, who was playing when you were there?
Man, they had a squad. They had Rex Chapman was there.
Oh, that team.
Mm-hmm. Ed Daviner and them was there. I was a freshman. They were seniors. Winston Bennett was there. Then Kentucky had got in a bunch of 5 stars like LaRon Ellis, Eric Manuel, and all them. And then we got put on probation. So we kind of went downhill after that. But we all got along well. We seen each other every day. As soon as we leave out the gym, or one of us leave out the gym, here they come. And so we stop and talk. We got study hall together. Um, we did all that stuff. We was football players too. They was there. All of the teams that was in Memorial Coliseum, we all, we kind of
We're
supported
close.
each other. Like, yeah, we would go to volleyball games, and of course we would go to the basketball games. And
Mhm.
sometimes I didn't even want to go to a basketball game. I was like, I see them enough. I don't even want to go. I'll watch it on TV or something. But football games, football players would be at our games, and swimming team, because they was in Memorial Coliseum too. We used to have the pool back there.
Hmm.
So everybody's pretty supportive. Of the other athletes, like I said, that mainly was in Memorial Coliseum. But we got along good.
Good, good. Good question, Jen. Thanks. Um, so who was the best female player you played against? And men or women, who's your favorite player? Who's your favorite men's player? Who's your favorite women's player?
My favorite men's player, basketball, college, because I have
College or
certain
pros? Yeah, college and pros.
college. My favorite, I told you,
You
Dirk
said Dirk
Minifield was
Minifield.
always my favorite point guard, and I was a huge fan of Wayman Tisdale of Oklahoma. I
Okay,
loved him.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, he was my favorite, like other college player.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, my favorite women's player. I really didn't have a favorite women's player. I liked several of them, but one that I had to guard that I kind of admired. She was killing me too. Was Her name was Bridget Gordon. She played at Tennessee.
Yeah, and then she wanted to play at she played with Phoenix, didn't
I
she?
think she did for
No, that
like
was Bridget Pettis. No, it wasn't Bridget Pettis. I was thinking
not
Bridget
not
Pettis.
Pettis,
Yeah,
but
Bridget
Bridget
Gordon.
Gordon.
Okay.
And then Mississippi State, I had people laughing about this. They had this girl. She hadn't played like the year before. I was a freshman, and she had missed a couple years because she had got pregnant, had a baby, and her name was Kashing Sorrell. I'll never forget Coach Bannon. I was watching her during warm-ups, and she looked all slow, and I was like, man, she's slow. I'm going to strip her the bottom. I'm going to D her up. She's about 6 foot. She's a little taller than me. And we got in the game, and I said, all right, I got her. And she got 8 quick points off me in about 30 seconds, and I had to go sit on the bench. I got cussed out and was like, get over and sit down. I told you. I was like, damn. Killed me. But I think Bridget Gordon probably was the best player I've ever liked.
Bridget Gordon. And she came out of Tennessee?
Uh-huh. And Auburn had Ruthie Bolton, and they had a sister. She had a sister named Mayola. Now she was good.
Mm-hmm.
And
but everybody
right
knows
there,
Ruthie. I liked Ruthie.
Her sister, I thought her sister was better.
Sister was better? Really?
But hey, she was cold. Her name was Mayola.
Yeah, they all had them old Southern names.
Yeah, they had them old people names. She was cold. I mean, cold. I'm like, wow. Yup.
That's good
stuff.
Those
were my.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm gonna wrap this up. First of all, okay. I can't wait to meet you in person at the Hall of Fame. Okay. I can't wait to, I know you're getting your little speech together and all of that type of stuff, but
we ain't got none but 90 seconds is what she told me. We only had 90 seconds. I was like, man, I can't get all my stuff in 90 seconds, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna have some bullet points and just kind of go through that real quick. But
okay. Well, that's why I wanted to give you the opportunity to come on here in case you had something that you want to say that you won't be able to get to say at. Is there anything that you won't be able to get the chance to say at the gala?
Mm-hmm. Nothing. I guess the only thing I had to say was just how it all started. And I know I'm not gonna have time to say all that, but
gotcha.
But I did start with a coat hanger, a wire coat hanger, and my brother made it round, and I used a pair of socks for a basketball, and we put that coat hanger in the door, shut the door, and that was my basket.
And that's where it started.
That's where it started. It sure did. So all these other people saying I taught her this, and I was like, no, you didn't. It started in the living room on the wire rim with a pair of socks. My brother Vinny, he made it for me.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you picking up the phone when I called and coming on and telling us your story and giving us an opportunity to get a little bit more up and close, since we're only going to get 90 seconds of hearing from you at the gala. Well, and the reason why it's 90 seconds because the first year we just let them talk and it ended up being like a 5-hour, and we just can't do it. We just couldn't do that again. So that's the reason why. Y'all could
at least said 2 minutes like the preachers be doing at the funeral.
And they still do more than 2 minutes.
They still go over. Now then, that's when y'all cut that mic. Be like, cut the mic, cut the mic, cut the mic.
Well, we'll talk to the founders about that, and we'll see. and we'll talk about it. I'm sure Jen hears you, and we'll take that into consideration, or at least we'll try to figure out if we can get you a different platform, or if you ever want to come back on again because you feel like there's some things you want to get off your chest you didn't get a chance to. You're welcome. Just give me a call. You're welcome to come on anytime. So
Okay.
listen, everybody, go to layshoff.com. You still have time to get your tickets. It's at the Central Bank Center on September the 21st. It's a Saturday. Kentucky plays at 12:45. So my son will be playing, but Cisco and I will be there. We'll probably leave the game early because we are not getting ready to miss the Hall of Fame. Littleton, can you 90 seconds? You didn't get that memo? 90 seconds? 90 seconds.
Yeah, 90 seconds. Hey, fam, it's 90 seconds for real.
90 seconds. Yeah. So you're gonna have to get it ready in 90 seconds. And
Just
so
thank everybody in 90 seconds.
Yeah, you just got to thank everybody in 90 seconds. All you're saying is thank you, I guess. So
Right.
But regardless, we can't wait to honor you. We're looking forward to it. We can't wait to see you and your whole God, your whole family and stuff is getting with Littleton and your cousins and stuff like that. We can't wait. Jennifer says 60 for you, Littleton. 60 seconds for you, Littleton. You only get 60 seconds. So guys, layshoff.com. Make sure you get your tickets. Go ahead and order your fit. Y'all got it like 3 weeks. What is it? Like it's getting ready to be September. We're September. What are we? 3 weeks out. We're under a month. We're under a month away. So It's coming up here really, really quick. So listen, the food is going to be good. The entertainment is going to be outstanding. Everybody's going to look good. It's going to be like a family reunion. It's going to be first class, and it's going to be another amazing and epic event, and I can't wait for it. So, Tracye, thank you so much. I appreciate you for coming on. Thank you for allowing us to get a piece of your story, and we can't wait to see what. Oh, well, I didn't talk about that. What's next for you? You said you're retired. You're done?
I don't play anymore. I got all kinds of
no more coaching, because I know you coached at Fisk. Oh, by the way, y'all, she was the head coach for Fisk University.
Yeah,
I totally missed that.
I coach little kids now, so
okay.
Yeah.
But I'm a middle school coach, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that's where the ball is being dropped, is on the little kids level.
I agree.
It's easy to coach them when they know what they're doing. It's hard coaching them and teaching them the fundamentals.
I have a fundamental skills camp that I do probably every other month here, and so I strictly fundamentals, and that's all I do. I actually.
And where are you located?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's go Nashville. So my women's team is playing after the Titans on November whenever the Minnesota Vikings game is.
Okay.
We'll be down there. My women's team. So I coach women's tackle football. And so they're playing after the Tennessee Titans game. And tickets are only $40 for both games.
Okay. I'll come check y'all out. Is it the Kentucky team or? Yes,
it's the only female team out of Kentucky.
Okay.
It's called the Derby City Dynamite. You want to play?
No, I don't want to play. It's over for me.
Because I'm recruiting. We're recruiting. Anyway, so hey, Shonda Minifield. Shonda's son was just in catching touchdowns in Hawaii. You was just basking in the sun in Hawaii over the weekend.
Okay.
So anyway, so that's it. I'll be here all day talking to you. So don't log off. I'm gonna end the stream, but don't log off. So y'all make sure y'all go to get y'all tickets at layshoff.com. Make sure you go to YouTube and subscribe. Please subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure you go to the Hits and Heels and share and and also like that page for me so that you guys can get the notification for when I go live. Because I got a couple of upcoming people that are coming up, and you guys are not going to miss this. Just like how great today's show was. Today was a great show, Tracye. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'm getting ready to end the show. Thank you, Mr. Brown.